after a small little break, we start to see how football is starting to come back, and there's a lot more performances. And this week it shows, as there's many good performances, a lot of good teams coming back, a lot of players, a lot of teams coming back from the little break. And so we're gonna show you all that. And yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so the first game, it starts with Galatasaray versus Trabzonspor. Another Turkish team, but 4-1 win. Very impressive win from Galatasaray. They've been doing very well this season. As you can see, Devin Sanchez played this match. He didn't play the entirety of the match. He played how many minutes? It was 79 minutes. So, but his defending doesn't seem to be that great. Passing was okay. Defensively, what? How does that make sense? Only 4 recoveries. No defensive contributions. Very sound game. 68 touches. Not too shabby. 1 key pass. Very nice. 94% pass accuracy. 67 attempted. Yeah. And then for shooting, nothing. But overall, I mean, not the most impressive game by Devin Sanchez, but he's been playing well, and that's a good result from them. They knock out. Oh dang! I think I spoiled something, but they go to the finals after that match. Hopefully you guys didn't see that. I'm just gonna show this really quick. Al Nasser Dubai. You might wonder like what the heck? They have Kevin Agudelo, and he actually scored a goal. So I'm actually gonna pull that up. This is Kevin Agudelo. Wow, that's a nice pass. Golazo. That was a pretty nice goal actually. Holy. Might have to include that in the goals of the week. Oh no, don't know. That was very nice though. Yeah, nonetheless, an obscure league, but a nice goal. We're not gonna look too much into that game, but he scored a goal there. Nice, good for Kevin Agudelo. We're gonna keep going forward. The next game will be 5-0. So 5-0. In this match, we got where is he? Right here. We got Luis Diaz, who came in and has a good show. 2 assists in this match, an 8.6 rating. 8.6 rating, which is very nice, very impressive. And not too many. Actually, he played the whole second half. Yes, for the whole second half. But good for him. He actually had quite a few highlights this match. So we're actually gonna take a look at this.
To stop the Salzburg players closing in.
Oh, nice. Oh,
good movement forward. Dancing feet from Luis Diaz. He might get it back here. Flag in Spain. Bayern moving forward now. Napoli into the box.
No.
At arm's length in this second half.
Nice, good touch.
Players spread towards Leonard Karl. Karl, you don't know whether he's going to cut inside or go onto the right foot. Bischoff really be a force in the UEFA Champions League again, not just one of the better teams, but a real contender for the Champions League title. And now there might be a big chance for 2-0. Zawieszczycki with the save, and it's back for the follow-up. And up and over the top.
Nice, come on, let's go, Lucho. Oof, nice, oh.
Bayern push forward again. Salzburg can't repel them. Player down. Diaz continues, skipping away in the D. Red Bulls, 10 games in 34 days spell, and they might have a 4th goal here. Zawieszczycki all at sea,
nice
and it's headed in from well inside the 6-yard box. It's Leonard Karl again.
Not too shabby.
Work was done elsewhere.
He goes here, gets past the goalkeeper.
Karl was there to apply the finish.
Nice little cross.
And Bayern extend the lead to 4. Luis Diaz. He's been so bright since he's come on.
Yeah,
and he's got an assist again.
The second assist was very nice. Ooh, look at that chip.
Bischoff there to finish off, and 4 becomes 5 in stoppage time. It does feel harsh on Salzburg. This test match to a close. It was 6.
Yeah, as you can see, very good game from him, and in the friendly, deserves that rating. Those 2 assists, very nice, especially the second one. The second assist was beautiful. Darn, but let's get past that match. Give me 1 sec. We have Fenerbahce versus Samsunspor, and as you can see here, John Halil Duran scored a goal in the 67th minute. They won 2-0, and this is a good match actually. As I showed you earlier, this is the other semifinal. So they also went to the finals after winning this match. Duran helped with that, obviously, with his goal. 7.3 rating, which is not too shabby. Let's see. Yeah, so 5 total shots. Hit the woodwork 1 time. 2 on target, 1 goal. So not too bad. A lot of shots. He likes to shoot. He likes his volume of shots, right? 2 key passes, which is pretty good. 71% pass accuracy, not too shabby. And dribbling, we got 35 touches, 1 successful dribble, which is nice over here. And defensively, 2 out of 3 ground duels, which is very nice. But yeah, overall very good game. We're actually gonna look at his goal right now. Give me a second. I don't know who necessarily gets the ball, but Duran passed it to him earlier. The cross comes in, and as you can see, Duran taps it in first touch. But he actually started the move. Well, not necessarily started the move, but he had the pass before that. And actually, I love this celebration. Look at that. Hey, let's look at the celebration again. 1 second. I want to see the celebration again. Let's look at the goal and the celebration again. About right here. We should be good. So as you can see, nice tap in, and then hey, Hey, let's go. Nice. Not too shabby. Good game from John Hallow's around there. I don't know what goal that was from, but he's not having a terrible season. Let's actually take a look at that right now. His season so far. So in this cup, he only has one goal, but let's see where else. In the actual league, he has 3 goals. So I think he has about five goals this season. Not too shabby. Good for John Hallou. And we'll move on from that. We got Juventus Sassuolo. Kawal is injured. He didn't play this match, so we'll move on from that. Sporting versus Victoria. So as you can see here, Luis Javier Suarez. He scored a goal, as he often does. It's not very often he doesn't score a goal, so very nice, very nice. But they lose this match, which is not that great, and they actually get kicked out. They get kicked out. Victoria wins the whole thing, the whole cup. Very nice. I foreshadowed that because Victoria also has a Colombian. I'm sorry. We're gonna look at it though. Luis Javier Suarez gets a good rating, gets a goal. Let's see his game. Very good dribbling, shooting is very nice. In terms of shots, he has 4 total shots, 1 offside, 1 block shot. Well, he scored a goal, so not too bad. Key passes, 1 key pass, 83% pass accuracy, 23 attempted. Dribbling, 2 out of 4 successful dribbles, which is nice. 43 touches, so not too shabby. And 8 out of 15 ground duels, very nice. And then 3 out of 5 aerial duels. So yeah, overall very good game from him. We're gonna take a look at his goal right now. Yeah, not too shabby. It was a very nice ball. And then, as you can see here, he controls it. Well, I don't know if he controls it. He lets it bounce. And then takes a nice shot. So, very nice goal from him. Just unfortunate that they couldn't win the game. They couldn't win the game and go further in that competition. But, nonetheless, pretty good from him. We'll move on. Oh, actually, yeah, so Victoria has a Colombiano goalkeeper. Charles has been playing. I don't know if Juan Castillo lost his position, but Charles has been doing very well. He played well this match. And then we'll look forward. But yeah, as you can see, Juan Castillo did not play these 2 matches, unfortunately. All right, yeah. I'm just gonna look at this. Just see what's up. I don't think there's anything of note. So we have Narvaez here. That's the Colombiano here. That's of note in this game. Played pretty decently. They won the match. This is not a league that really matters. Awasal, same thing. Palacios, I don't think he did anything. So nothing to write home about here. This is a pretty good game. Bologna versus Atalanta. But firstly, you see Bologna lost, and actually, Lukumi wasn't playing. But Lukumi has been having not the greatest season, I don't think. He's had some. It's been weird. His distribution of minutes has been very weird. He didn't play his match. They lost his match. So, and then we have Hellas Verona versus Napoli. In this match, Mosquera did play. He only played 3 minutes. Well, 11 minutes. Sorry, 11 minutes. Well, yeah, 3 minutes. On the 87th minute he came on, but played 11 minutes in total. Nothing too crazy to write home about here. Only 5 total touches. Nothing, yeah. But that was a good result from Hellas Verona. They tied to Napoli. They're in last place though, which is not great, but they're not too far off from getting out there. It's actually a pretty interesting relegation battle. Look at that. It's pretty close. It's pretty close actually. And in terms of Napoli needed that. Look how far Inter is. Actually, no, they're not. They must have lost today, huh? Wow. But anyway, moving forward, we got Wolves, Everton, and Wolves. They had a horrendous start, but since the new year, they've been pretty good. Actually, since the last 3 matches, Arias in this match didn't play the greatest. Yerson Mosquera played great, it seems like. So we'll take a look at John Arias. But John Arias has been turning it around. He scored his first goal from the Premier League the last week, and later on in this week also has another good performance. But yeah, we'll see here. He played 45 minutes, played only the first half. No shots. In terms of passing, 1 key pass. That's always nice. Always nice to see 1 key pass. Dribbling, 26 total touches. Nothing too crazy there. And 1 out of 1 total tackles. The ground duels wasn't amazing. Wasn't his greatest game, but as you can see, the result was not too bad. A 1-1 draw to Everton, pretty decent. And then Yerson Mosquera seems to have had a great game. His defensive duty seems to be very nice. Oh, look at that. 13 defensive contributions, 1 out of 1 tackles, 5 out of 7 ground duels, 3 out of 9 aerial duels. Yeah, he's overall very good. And only to limit him to one goal is pretty good. 80 touches, very nice. And in terms of passing, 1 key pass. So the same as John Arias, but man, good for him. 48 total pass attempts, 90% pass accuracy. In terms of shots, nothing there. But yeah, good game from them. A good result from them. So in the last 2 Premier League matches, they get 4 points. And now they are, oh man, they're pretty far from Forest though. They're very far from Forest. It's gonna be hard to pull this back. They need literally 3 times what they already have. Oh yeah. But yeah, we'll move forward from that. Here we got Torino versus Udinese. Torino loses. But yeah, not even Zapata didn't even start this match, sadly. He did play a little bit, played a few minutes, 6.3 rating, didn't play the greatest. And dribbling was poor. Passing, nothing to write about. Dribbling, why is dribbling so poor? Only 9 touches, so, but yeah, nothing crazy to write there. Here, It's a disappointing game from Benfica. They lose to Braga. This is actually in the knockouts too, so I think this is the same tournament. Yeah, this is the same one. So you know where Sporting and Vitoria were playing earlier. This is the second semifinal, and as you can see, Benfica lose. Rios didn't play particularly well. It seems like we have 3 key passes, which is pretty nice. Dribbling, he's a good dribbler. 75 touches, but nothing too crazy in terms of dribbling. Defensively, yeah, defensively does not look great for him. 0 out of 5 aerial ground duels, so nothing crazy there. In terms of shots, 1 on target, but yeah, it was just an unfortunate result for them. Nothing to write home about there. We'll keep moving. So we have here Cremonese versus Cagliari, and as you can see, JD Mina did not have a great game here. This is not his greatest performance by any stretch of the imagination. Defensively, only 1 aerial duel. He only played 45 minutes. Yeah, played the first half only dribbling. I don't know where it shows. Does it show here? Yeah, errors leading to goal here. Look, 1 error led to goal. Yeah, so not a great performance from Jenny Mina by any stretch of the imagination. They tied 2-2 to Cremonese, and I don't know how. So they're both amongst the same area. Cagliari could have used those points to go ahead of them, but it wasn't meant to be. That's okay. We'll keep moving on, and then this one doesn't matter. Let's not even look at that. Al Tawun versus Al Shabab, and as you can see, Roger Martinez scored a penalty. I don't have the goal myself, and I don't think it's worth showing. But this is a 2-0 win against Al Shabab, pretty good. Roger Martinez in the last 2 weeks has scored 2 goals, not too bad. And Al Tawun is playing very well. Look at them, only 4 points behind first place. In third place, tied with Ronaldo's team Al Nassr. Decent. So hopefully Roger Martinez can keep this up. Sporting versus Cadiz, as you can see here. Also, I missed one earlier. Sporting earlier also had another game, and Otero scored. They lost that game too, and this game they also lose. So nothing crazy to write home about here. Otero did play and got an assist. Otero's been playing pretty decently this season. They also have Oscar Cortez on the bench, but he's not been playing many minutes. Then we go to another game. So here, another game from Wolves, and as you can see, Arias gets again on the score sheet. So 2 goals in 2 weeks for Arias and for Wolves. Fortunately, this is not in the Premier League. This is in the FA Cup, as you can see over there. As you can see here, FA Cup. But we'll take a look at the ratings and how well he did. Gerson Mosquera did not play. He got a rest, but I guess that means he's going to be playing anything. But look at that. Good passing. Shooting was good. His dribbling. So yeah, it seems like an 8.9 rating is also fantastic. I overlooked that. That's great. Let's start with the defensive duties. 1 out of 2 tackles is nice. 5 out of 8 ground duels, very nice. Dribbling, 1 out of 1 successful dribbles, very nice. He's getting back to his mojo, starting to dribble again like he was doing over there on Fluminense. 83 touches, very nice. Wow, they used him a lot this game. 70 passes attempted, 94% accuracy. He had 5 total shots, 2 on target, scored the 1 goal. So we're gonna look at the 1 goal right here. We're actually gonna look at it right now. So it's actually a nice play from Mold right there, but a nice through ball from Strand Larsen, I believe. He takes 1 touch and then scores it. So it was a nice finish. Actually, a very nice goal. One of my favorite goals of this week, I must say. But yeah, good for John Arias in that game. He's been playing well these last 2 weeks, and I don't know if anyone's been keeping up. He's been linked with the move back to Palmeiras, back to the Brazilian league where he was obviously at his best. He played very well for Fluminense in his time there. But the only thing is, I just, the Premier League is such a good league. We like to see more Colombianos representing the league, and as of late, he's been playing very well. I know the team has been horrendous, but the team has been getting their points back, doing decently. So at least for the rest of the season, I'd like to see John Arias stay at Wolves. But if they get relegated, then go back to the Brazilian league in the summer. That's what I'd like to see. Nonetheless, he's been doing very well, and they get past to the next round in the FA Cup. Not too shabby. We'll move on. This was pretty crazy. Not for the Colombianos. Actually, both Colombianos are out. So neither Lerma or Daniel Munoz played in this match. But Crystal Palace lose to Macclesfield. Macclesfield, I think, is in the 5th tier. So they're not even a professional team. They're a semi-pro team, and they end up beating Crystal Palace, which is the FA Cup. Like, they just won it last year, and they also won the Community Shield. They're also doing pretty decent in the Premier League. So it's a pretty crazy. This is a very crazy story. But we'll move on because there's no Colombianos to play here that played in this match at least. And we got Real Betis wins the final against Galatasaray of the Turkish Cup. And this game, there was both Colombianos playing. So there was Davinson Sanchez right here, who 6.4 rating is not the greatest. And John Duran, who also doesn't seem to have the greatest game. I mean, both Colombianos canceling them out is hard. Having a striker playing against a Colombian defender is always difficult. But we'll first look at Davinson Sanchez, who played only the first half. I wonder if he was injured, he just didn't play well. But either way, they lost. Defensive contributions didn't have too many defensive contributions. 2 out of 5, so not the greatest defensively. 34 touches in the half, 80% pass accuracy, and yeah, nothing to write home about. They lost that match, so always disappointing. For John Duran, he played 69 minutes. Nice. And then we got one total shot, nothing crazy. So first volume, that's not great. 55% pass accuracy, only 11 attempted. Dribbling, 16 touches. Yeah, so not his greatest performance, but he had a decent week. He had the last game he played decently. So yeah, that's that. It was a 3-2 win from Real Zaragoza to Real Santander. Real Santander Club, which we know is first place of this league, and we has Gustavo Puerta, which actually scored a goal this match. So that's why it's a very notable game this match. And Gustavo Puerta played pretty decently in this game, even though they lost. And yeah, it was an unfortunate loss. Real Zaragoza is like in the relegation, so yeah, big loss. But anyways, yeah, let's look into Gustavo Puerta's performances. So his shooting, passing, dribbling was all good. Defensively, doesn't seem to be the greatest, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, didn't really contribute too much defensively. 2 out of 8. Grando's one, which is pretty good. Let's go to dribbling. 110 touches. Wow, a lot of touches. He was very involved in this match. Very nice. No one key pass. 93 passes in total. That's a lot. 89% pass accuracy, which is pretty nice. And then had 5 total shots, 2 on target, and then 1 goal. His goal's right there. Very close proximity. We're gonna take a look at it right now. So as you can see, it comes across, comes in, and it first gets touched by the defender, and then goes to Gustavo Puerto, which does the first time, and goes in the bottom right corner, which is not bad. And well, Gustavo Puerta continues to do well in the league. He's doing very well in the second division. He did well for Colombia that one game he did play, so hopefully keeps it up, and the team keeps it up. We got Real Betis versus Real Oviedo, which is not a great performance from Real Betis, because Real Betis they need to accumulate wins ultimately. Coach Hernandez played. He played 80 minutes. His passing seems to be pretty poor. Shooting wasn't great. He didn't score a goal. 4 total shots. 1 big chance missed. So he could have changed the whole dynamic of the game, but unfortunately he just didn't do it. Passing, 1 big chance created, which is very nice. 3 key passes, also very nice. Dribbling, 45 touches, 4. So no successful dribbles. 4 unsuccessful dribbles. 2 out of 2 tackles, 1. So yeah, not the greatest game. Again, like they tie this match, and as you see, like they need to accumulate points. They're in 6th place. They're 5 now off from Espanyol in 5th place. Real Oviedo was last place in the league, so they needed that. It wasn't the greatest result, but we'll move on. I also believe did not play this match. Let me check this. I don't think Deosa played this match. Yeah, Deosa did not play this match. He was on the bench over here, which he's been having decent few weeks. I don't understand why he was not playing. That's not for me to decide. Then we go to Como Bologna, and this you might think is a better. No, Como's have been actually very decent this season, and Lukumi actually plays this match. Doesn't play the entirety of the match. Actually, I don't think he played very much of the match. He got injured, 26 minutes. That's very sad, very unfortunate. But as you can see in his minutes, he did not play. He played pretty decently. 1 out of 1 tackles, 1 out of 1 ground duels, 1. But that sucks. That sucks. He got injured. We'll move on though. Pisa Cuadrado continues to not play. I already saw this. We'll keep moving forward. Livingston. There's a Colombiano here, Pedrosa, I think his name is, but he's not playing. I don't think he was on the bench either, which is weird. But yeah, he wasn't playing. Doesn't matter. We'll keep moving. Oh, I didn't check this match. Oh wow. Hey, okay, so glad I checked this match. I didn't check this earlier, but Nicolas Benedetti, he just got a move to to Las Palmas recently, and he just had his debut actually. Only played 3 minutes, granted, but he had his debut, which is pretty nice. Let's take a look at his debut. How did it go? He had 1 key pass, which is very nice. They 6 touches, 1 out of 1 ground duels, 1. I mean, in 9 minutes, what more can you ask for, really? But yeah, so Las Palmas is 2nd place in the Liga 2, right behind Racing Club. So there could be, like, Racing Club also has Puerta, which I will get to a little bit later. He had a good week as well. But there could be 2 Colombianos. Also, who's close? No, Sporting has fallen down quite a bit, but yeah, man, not too shabby. These 2 teams, hopefully they can get the rep. Well, yeah, they both get the rep promotion, so hopefully it stays this way. Not too bad. But Benedetti gets his first minutes for Las Palmas. Not too bad. Girona. I think there's a lot of rumors. So Solis, I think got a move. I think got a move to Brazil, which is good for him. He has not had a good spell in Spain, So I'm glad he got that move. If he did get that move, I'll check that, make sure that's true in a second. And then Yasser Asprilla was on the bench, but he didn't play at all this match. And I think he's also linked with a move out, and he needs a move out. They don't respect him. They don't respect Yasser Asprilla. Yasser Asprilla is a great talent, and I know he could do a lot of good things, but they just don't have him in the right position. First of all, in that team, in the right system, the team is not good enough, and they just don't respect him. He needs to get that move. So yeah, but let's move on. Vitoria Braga. So I mentioned this earlier. This is the final of what is it? What is this tournament? This is the Taca de Portugal, the Taca de Liga, and as I said earlier, so usually the goalkeeper is Juan Castillo, and he's been playing in the league, but Charles has been playing so good in this cup that I don't know if Juan Castillo still has his spot in the team. But nonetheless, Vitoria wins this tournament, which is nice. I think they actually get Europa League or they get Conference League, so they get European football from this. Good for Juan Castillo. But we'll move on from this. Okay, now we go to Bayern versus Wolfsburg, and this game is a lot of big talking points in this game. Luis Diaz, first of all, had a great game. What a game from Luis Diaz. It doesn't show here because there's too many goals, but Luis Diaz he has 2 assists and a goal. 2 assists and a goal. So let's look at the stats first, and then we'll take a look at the goal and all that stuff. But he has 2 total shots. He also got gypped for 1 goal. Man, we're gonna take a look at that in a second. But he got gypped for a goal. That was BS. But he has 1 goal in this game. The goal was pretty nice. It was a header. And passes, 2 assists, 3 key passes, 1 big chance created, 90% pass accuracy, 51 attempted, dribbling, 4 out of 5 successful dribbles, which is very nice. 78 touches. So he touched the ball quite a bit. I mean, Bayern always dominates the ball. They dominate everything. Also, this 8.1 rating, disrespect. Like, I think Olise got the man of the match. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. Olise had a great match, but man, Luis Diaz, I think, was a better player and got chipped for that freaking. He should have had another goal. We'll take a look at that in a second. Yeah, 1 out of 1 tackles here, 5 out of 12 ground duels, which is quite nice. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the goal. So we have here Luis Diaz's goal. Yeah, so we have Olise right there, crosses the ball in, and then Luis Diaz right there in the right spot. A nice header. We've seen this goal quite a few times actually. I feel like Olise continues to do that, continues to cut in, and then gives a nice cross. I think there's another goal that Luis Diaz scored this same way, not too long ago, but good performance from him. I'm actually gonna look at the whole performance because we're gonna look at his 2 assists as well as, and also we're gonna take a look at that thing he got gypped, that goal he got gypped for. So give me a second. Olise.
Oh, now while you're watching that, it's been chipped in.
I don't know, man. I don't know, yo. That was crazy, yo. You tell me. It's hard for me to deny that Olise deserved the man of the match when he did that well. He played very well, but Luis Diaz, in my personal opinion, was the better performer. I don't know. Just my opinion. Nonetheless, that game. Let me see one thing. Nonetheless, that game was a fantastic game from Bayern. They won 8-1, and they continue to dismantle every team. They're disgusting. Look at them, like 11 points ahead of Dortmund. They're running away with the league, plus 51 goal differential. Oof. Oh man, what a team. We go to Nantes versus Nice. Nantes. You be confused, like why am I? Yeah, they were my child. He just got a move recently from Lens, who's first place in the league. So he moved from first place, but goes to a team where he's gonna get more minutes. He wasn't getting many minutes for Lens, and Nantes, since he's been on the team, has been decent, but they get kicked out of the Coupe de France. But yeah, that was that one. We'll move on. Verona versus Lazio. Again, Daniel Mosquera, but Daniel Mosquera played more minutes this time. Didn't do anything crazy with his minutes. 1 total shot. Passing. Only 6 passes attempted. 1 dribble successful, which is nice. 10 touches. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that's that. Tondela versus Morense. You also might be asking, who the heck's on Tondela? Tondela has a few Colombianos. So we have this guy, Brian Medina. He's Colombiano, a defender, playing in the first league of Portugal, which is pretty good. It doesn't seem like he had the greatest game. Defensively, no tackles, 1 out of 1 defense ground duels, which is nice. But yeah, that's not too shabby. Here we have 60 touches in terms of passing, 52 passes attempted, shots. But yeah, I mean, they lost that match. Wasn't the greatest. There's another Colombiano on Tondela. He wasn't on the bench. He scored last week. A striker. I forgot his name. I'll get you his name right now. Actually, don't worry. Have no fear. His name is Brian Medina, and the other Colombian is Jeffrey Rodriguez. He wasn't in this game, but he did score a goal last week, as I mentioned. Yeah, Jeffrey Rodriguez was not there. Jeffrey Rodriguez. And let's look a little bit into the Brazilian games. But this is not like this is a little tournament, so they haven't been playing their full teams. As you can see, Border's not playing, Carbonero's not playing, so and they also weren't on the bench. Nothing to note of there. Also, Flamengo's the same deal. Carrascal wasn't playing. For Red Bull, I don't know if yeah, Mosquera was playing. So we'll take a look at Mosquera's game. Mosquera, which has continued to get injured his whole time in Red Bull Bertagamo, unfortunately. In terms, yeah, so no shots, passing, 22 attempted, only 77 successful. 1 out of 2 dribbles successful, which is very nice. 24 touches, not awful. Well, 1 out of 4 ground duels. I mean, it was an okay game from him. They won the game, which is nice. Sorry, let's go to standings. So they are playing the Paulista. I mean, I guess they care in this league. The Brazilian format is so weird. There's so many different leagues and so many different formats. So I know this is like one part of how the league runs. But as you can see, certain other teams were taking it more serious than other ones. Oh, there's a game right now. So there's River Plate versus Millonarios is a club friendly. This is nice. Nothing. Darwin Quintero. Yeah, so Juan Fernando Quintero's playing right there. Kevin Castaño's playing too. And well, nothing too much to note of. It's 0-0 right now. We'll see next week. We'll see if there's anything of note, and next week I'll cover it. But that seems to be this week done. Okay, I'm sorry for that wait, but I am ready to commence the tier list. So the way I'm thinking about this is, firstly, Luis Diaz has to be on the podium. Great week from him. What was that? That was a goal and 4 assists. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Who else goes up there? There's someone else who goes up there. Don't worry. Oh, John Arias goes up there. Where is he? He's not. I don't have John Arias. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So we got John Arias, who also goes in the top tier. I think those are probably the only 2 players that maintain the top tier. In terms of good players, I think Jose Mosquera for that one performance against Everton deserves to be up there. I think Gustavo Puerta for his goal, even though they lost, he had a good game. He deserves to be up there. And you know what? Kevin Agudelo, because I like his goal, even though he's in a pretty obscure league and they had a bad result. His goal puts him up there. You know what? We gotta put. If we're living by that logic, it's gonna be quite a few players. So John Jairo Duran and Luis Javier Suarez have to go up there because they both scored goals, and they had decent games, so I can't knock them. John Jairo Duran also won. They won the whole thing. And then stinker has to be JD Mina. Okay. So let me reiterate what we got. So as you can see, this is the Colombian tier list. There's a lot more players, a lot of good performances this week. So let's take a look at them. Let's go from the bottom to the top. So let's start with the stinker category. In the stinker category, we got Yeri Mina, which unfortunately I didn't want to put him there, but he just didn't have a great performance. He had an error that led to a goal, only played the first half, and they tied that game against Cremonense. He didn't play earlier in the week, so only has that one game against Cremonense. And yeah, the error led to a goal, puts him in the stinker category. In the good category, we got quite a few players. So we got over here, we have John Jairo Duran, which had 2 games, scored a goal against Samsunspor or something like that, Samsunspor. And then also, they won the final of the Turkish Cup against Galatasaray, so against Davinson Sanchez's team. And he didn't have the greatest match there, but they won that game and he played both matches, so did well. Got a goal this week, so that's decent. Luis Javier Suarez only played 1 match this week as well. Got a goal, but they got kicked out of the Taca Portugal in the semifinal. But nonetheless, he got the goal. It was a pretty nice goal. Played pretty well that game as well. Kevin Agudelo, you might not know too much about this guy. He's playing in the United States Arab, United States Arab, something like that. Yeah, so the UAE country. And he scored a golazo. The team lost. He's playing for Al Nassr Dubai. The team lost, but he had a good performance and scored a nice goal, so I put him up there just for that. I mean, he doesn't necessarily deserve to be up here. Just putting him for recognition. The player over here, we have Gustavo Puerta, which, as Colombians know, he's a great player, a good Hoenn player. Scored a goal this week, even though they lost Racing Santander. But he had a decent performance, had a very good performance that game. Yerson Mosquera, another good player, another young player, had a great performance against Everton in their 1-1 tie. He was solid in that match. And then for the top category, the best players, we got Luis Diaz this week. Played fantastically. He had 1 goal and 4 assists in total. 2 assists against Stuttgart, and then against Wolfsburg in their 8-1 win, he got a goal and 2 assists. Very, very nice. And then John Arias, who's been killing it recently, didn't play too well against Everton. He played the first half, and then against Shrewsbury, where they won 5-1 in the FA Cup, he scored a goal. Scored a very nice goal at that. So John Arias is picking it up, and their Wolves are starting to play pretty well. But yeah, that's the Colombian tier list. Yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with this, or any ones you would change? Any players that deserve to be on there? Let me know. Okay, yeah. So this concludes the Colombian side. As you can see, there's a lot of performances, a lot of performances in general, and there's a lot more to come as many other leagues are going to start up. There's going to be a lot of other players to play and a lot of other games to play, a lot of big moments to come. So stay tuned, and yeah, peace.